let's get right into it. So go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick. Your name, your age, what do you do, and also what is your relationship status? I know a lot of people here want to know. So I'll start with you, Saida.
Well, my name is Saida. I'm 34 years old. I'm a real estate agent. I'm also a dental hygienist, so I kind of do both things. So if you want to buy a house in Texas, let me know. I've been married for 5 years. I have a 3-year-old.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, nice to welcome, Saida. Thank you to the Making It to the Kava Club Podcast. And let's go to the next guest. And go ahead, Tui.
My name is Tuisina, and if you couldn't already tell by my hair, I'm Moana of Motunui. I'm from Hawaii. I'm 35 years old, and I'm single.
All right. Okay. All right. So so thank you ladies for jumping on. And I guess we'll get right into it. My first topic, I hope you guys, I got a hot topic to start off our podcast. And my first topic is, I know if you guys watch my podcast, I always talk, for me, I always talk about the turnoffs when it comes to what men are looking for in women. You know, women. So I'm interested to hear for you ladies, what are your turnoffs when you meet men? So when you're trying to look into a man, you know, for trying to look into a relationship, also your perspective on the modern day man today. So what do you see today? What are the turnoffs to see when you meet the men in your life? And also, you know, what do you look for? So yeah, I'm interested to hear from you guys. What are your turnoffs when it comes to the modern day man that you guys see every day when you guys are looking for a relationship or trying to attract somebody? So I'll start off with you, Tui. Take it off.
Whatever. It's not that I'm not going to be nice. I think I'm just going to say what I mean. I don't like.
Spit it out, girl.
I know. I don't like feminine men. I'm going to be straight. I don't like feminine men. I don't mind that they're sensitive and caring. You know, that's cool. You know, totally awesome. Love it. But feminine men tend to
Cry.
Like it's a turn off because I don't like to feel like the man in a relationship. Like just something simple that like an example that everyone uses. Where do you want to eat?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you. Like I want to go eat at Zippy's. And then are you sure? Well, we can go here or we can go here or we can go here. Are you sure you want to eat at Zippy's? Super considerate, but that's just an example of like more serious things. I just don't want to feel like the man in the relationship. And I think it's become more acceptable for men to be more submissive and for women to dominate every aspect in the relationship. And it's a turnoff.
Okay, so feminine men, so AKA simps, right?
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
Listen, I was looking for cooler words than simps, but I couldn't find one. Like it just kept popping up, and I was like, all right, I think we're gonna have to go with simp.
All right, I talk about that all the time. You know, ladies don't they want a leader. They don't want a follower. You know, they want a guy. But that's but anything else besides some men who are very submissive, besides men who are very feminine? Anything else you want to add? Any other turnoffs you see?
Men who aren't driven, like someone with no ambition. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. Like I'm very attracted to intelligent men. So when I say intelligent, they take it like, oh, I'm not book smart, but you can be intelligent in anything you do. If you can't carry a conversation about something that you're passionate about, then it's a turn off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just want a man that's not a bum, right? That's pretty much that's what it means.
Yeah. Like an elaborate. Yeah. Like I should elaborated. Like I don't want a little bitch. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, at least he has something going on for him, right? Something going on. He's doing something. He's working towards something. He's just not sitting around and being a bum and being lazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So ambitious. So you want to make sure your guy's not a bum. Make sure he's ambitious, not feminine, not submissive. What else? Anything on that? That's a good list. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty simple when it comes to what I want. You know, it's just I'm gonna say this because I think nobody has talked about it yet.
Mhm.
Hygiene. And it's
Huh?
more than just like if you showered that day, you know.
Mhm.
It's like, do you take care of yourself? Do you put in the effort to like do your hair, wear clothes that don't have, you know, like mustard and ketchup stains on them? You know, do you take care of yourself? Like, women are attracted to someone who's going to put the effort into the way that they look, you know.
Mhm.
I think it's ironic that I'm saying this right now, and I just got back from the beach, okay, but normally I take care of myself somewhat, but like women are more attracted to people who are going to take care of themselves. And so like I think almost subconsciously we know, like, if you have on a clean outfit and you know you have a not, it doesn't have to be like a great haircut, but you take care of your hair, like to us that means that you take care of yourself, you put in effort, you know. And I think like that tends to catch women's eyes, their
Mhm.
eye more. So I guess hygiene.
Okay, so men who have bad hygiene, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that this? I mean, is that what you're seeing? I guess you're from Hawaii. So is that what you're seeing in Hawaii? A lot of these men in Hawaii are feminine. A lot of these men in Hawaii are bums. And a lot of these men in Hawaii that you see have bad hygiene. Is that what you're seeing in your market dating
It's
marketplace in Hawaii?
I don't look at Hawaii as a good marketplace for dating, but no, actually it's just an observation over the years. And my sister brought it up today too. And I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you want to attract a good woman or man, like, the way that you look is going to play a big part in the first initial attraction. It's not going to keep them, you know, that's up to you. Obviously, everybody knows this, but nobody seems to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why I just wanted to bring that up. But in Hawaii, everyone, I mean, I could go into this, but I won't. But in Hawaii, shorts, slippers, no shoes at all, no
Mhm.
shirt. You know, that's the general man in Hawaii usually,
Yeah.
or like just a t-shirt, which is fine. There's nothing wrong
That's an
with
easy
that. But
wardrobe.
yeah, there's nothing
I love
wrong with that.
it.
But it's like,
They don't need walk-in closets, that's for sure.
right, because all their clothes are in their trunks. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I was just about to ask that. You know, you brought it up. I was like, yeah, because in Hawaii, everybody's just laid back with their clothing. It's
Yeah.
usually just swim shorts and swim trunks and flip flops.
Yeah. And that's cool. There really is nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah,
like good hygiene, like if that's your wardrobe, then at least try to look nice. You know,
gotta
like
smell good. At least just
yeah,
have a good
smell good.
hygiene.
Like the way that you smell and the way that you present yourself is gonna be what you attract, like essentially.
All right. Sorry. So feminine men. So you said that your biggest turnoffs are feminine men, simps, and of course guys who are bums, not got nothing going on for them, and then no plan for the future or have any kind of goal or dream, and bad hygiene. All right. I'm all right. I'm interested to hear the comments on the live for all the men in Hawaii who's on the live chat right now. I don't want to say.
They probably have this on in the background and are drinking right now.
Oh, so yeah, if you're a man, you're from Hawaii, in your live chat, let me know your thoughts. Clap back. All right, so okay, we'll go to Saida. So Saida, same question, and yeah, and it's cool about you, Saida. You're married, so that's kind of cool. So you found your guy. So yeah, what was your turnoffs when you were dating? What was your biggest turnoffs when it comes to when it came to men?
Immature. They don't know what they want. Like every time
Immaturity.
it's like, what do you want in life? I don't know what I want in this life. I'm trying to find myself.
Yeah.
Said, dude, you're almost 40 years old. You're still trying to find yourself. Why don't you just create yourself? That was just like, I couldn't even tolerate that. You know, I didn't care if you pull the chair or something. No, but like, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, there's no point, and I don't have no interest to talk to a guy who doesn't have no goals, no ambitions. and they don't know what they want. Because I think when you know what you want, to me, it's very attractive.
Yes.
That was something that my husband had, because he knew what he wanted. And also when the guys talk a lot, they like to brag. Oh, I did this, I did that, I'm this, I go to the gym. Yeah, I also don't like those narcissists that really obsessed with their own body, because they go to the gym and they always look at themselves. And I see them at the gym, they like kind of go up and down. And it looks like they kind of trying to look hot to attract the girls, but really, I think they fell in love with themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So, no talk, action talks louder than words. I like when the guys try to prove himself.
Like you like a humility, little dash of humility. Just be humble. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, because I personally like to see. You don't need to talk, and that's the first thing I told to my husband, flat out, on the first date. It's like, I don't care what you say. Action talks louder than words. I want to see. If you really, mean what you're saying, I don't want to hear it. I want you to show it to me. Because I know a lot of women like to hear things like compliments and stuff like that, but I need actions.
Yeah.
And I don't like cheap guys too.
Cheap? Oh.
I hate greedy guys.
You're cheap? So you don't like cheap guys?
No.
Okay, do you elaborate that? What do you mean by cheap? Because there's levels to it.
There are some guys that they count your money too. It's like, oh, they probably spend a lot of money for the manicure and pedicure and all that stuff. I'm not obsessed with the manicures and pedicures, but it's like, or they complain that they have to pay for the full bill. I was like, but dude, you invited that girl for a date. Job, she can pay for her own salad. So that's why I don't understand when the guys complain, or they take you out in the movie and they expect you to pay for your own popcorn or something. I never have to deal with that. But it was kind of weird to me. And one time we got into an argument with the guy. He was like, so you just want to go out with me because of my money and you're a gold digger? It's like, do you have a stack of gold? Oh, I'm sorry, you're not a millionaire. That sucks. I say, I have a job. I'm very independent, but I'm letting you to be a man. So if you're taking me out, you have to take care of me. And not to make me feel like, hey, I'm paying, like you did a favor for me. Because I did the favor for you, I went out with.
Yeah, okay.
So I was letting, because maybe the way how I was brought up, like back in Russia, let's say if you are on a date and you try to pay or offer to pay, you can insult the guy with that, because you're going to show him, it's like, you didn't consider me man enough that I cannot pay.
Yeah.
So that was like at first, but I've seen here it's a lot that they really, and sometimes they even count your money. She's not taking it from you, but they count your money. They're so greedy, like dollar to dollar. Because in my opinion, it's like there's something strong that you can rely on. And those panickers too. When
it comes to the restaurants or the dates, what do you like to be taken out? Do you like to go to like nice restaurants, or do you are you a simple girl? Do you like to just go on a normal date and just
it doesn't matter.
Taco somewhere at a taco at a burrito?
Either it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. Okay. We can go fast food just for frozen yogurt. We can go out and nice on a special occasion. If it's a special occasion, I don't mind to go somewhere nice. But I can go either. We just can go have coffee or ice cream. Okay. So it's not about the actual where you go. It's about just the action, how he acts. If that makes sense?
Yeah. Okay. So you just want to make sure he's not cheap when it comes to dates. If you want him to pay for the first date to take care of you. Don't be a narcissist. All right. Anything else you want to add on to that list as far as the turnoffs?
That's the one thing also. I hate cheaters, because you can see it from far away. The guys are always running around. I feel like that's in their blood. It doesn't matter what a wonderful and beautiful and smart and intelligent girlfriend they're gonna have. If they cheaters, they're always gonna be cheaters. And it's just I've seen that a lot. Is that something I cannot tolerate?
Okay. I mean, when you say how do you know when you meet a guy in the beginning? How do you know he's a cheater? Like, what are the cues or things that you look for that cues I guess this for you is a red flag that he may be a cheater?
Well, it's usually you can tell by the way how he behaves. It's like his eyes are running around a lot of time. But
Okay.
sometimes it can be hard to say on the first date. You kind of notice it later. And the ex-girlfriend comes out. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's also biggest turnoff. It's how they talk about their ex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Like, oh, like I have that ex, she was this and that, or I have the ex before, oh my God, she was even worse. And I was like, okay, then your next potential girlfriend that's going to be your next potential ex also going to be the worst person ever. So, and that also tells like another turn off, the relationship with mother and sister. Like if he has a sister, oh mom, like if they in the bad relationship or he's not treating his mother right, of course there are some exceptions happens, their story, but most of the time, if he's a really bad relationship with the mother, they fight, they cuss each other. In some families it's normal, I guess. Then that's a red flag for me. It's like he's not going to be treating me nice either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also
that's me.
And also, whenever to me, whenever somebody talks about their ex or totally shitting on somebody, it just shows me that they haven't moved on from that relationship. They're still holding some kind of ill feelings. They haven't healed yet. They're still thinking about their ex. So whenever I see people that whenever I've met people that always talk negative about their ex, I've noticed that they haven't healed from it. They haven't moved on yet. They're still thinking about it. So people that they're done with their ex, they're done with their past. They ask me about my ex. You know what? It didn't work out. It's in the past. I'm ready to move on. I'm focused on you. But that's one of the things
I
I've
feel
noticed.
like you still have to be maybe a little respectful too, because that was kind of part of your life and that was your choice too at that time. And but talking bad and insulting, that's I don't like that.
Yeah, because at one point you like them.
Right to make this for me is like, okay, am I gonna be the next? Because that's the thing. There's no such a thing as a good ex-wife. But sometimes I hear from grown up and very mature people, yeah, we've been, and it was great while it's lasted, but then at some point we just went a separate way, and I think that's very beautiful, and I start respecting that person.
It also shows that their level of maturity, right? People are mature.
Exactly.
They don't talk about other people. They just understand it's over, it's done, it's time to move on. So it also shows their level of maturity when they still talk about other people. Okay, all right. So talking about the ex. All right. So yeah, as long as they're not cheap, as long as they're not narcissists, and they can take care of you, they have a plan, they have a goal for the future. Anything else you want to add to that, Saida?
That's pretty much it, I think. I'm not gonna make too much.
Okay, all right. Tui, do you want to respond to what Saida said? Anything you want to add on to it?
Yeah, actually, this is for men and women. It's not that that their like infidelity is a part of them or that they might cheat on you. I think there are questions that you can ask that the way that they respond will tell you what you need to know. Like, oh, why didn't I write these down? But so like if you ask someone like, obviously you don't want to bring up the ex too much, but a question that you could ask is, what happened in your past relationship, or even like your past too, like what are you looking for? And everyone can lie and be deceptive, but for women, I think we a piece
you got
of
that
trash.
sense though. Yeah.
You've got somewhat of women's intuition, and for women who say, well, I just didn't know, I don't believe you. Like I know a piece of trash when I meet one, but like after the first 10 minutes, you just know, and you can ask them questions, but the majority of the time people don't want to know. They have a preconceived notion of how they think this person is, and then they roll with it, and then they act surprised when they're like, oh my gosh, this person did this to me, and I'm like, did you ask questions?
Yeah.
Like, what didn't you ask? Because if you're not talking, then that should have been your first red flag.
Mhm.
So that's it.
And I would add on to the ex thing. Anybody that brings up their ex without me asking, that's a red flag right there. If I didn't ask
Yeah.
about it and you brought it up,
Yeah. I probably should have elaborated. Like, if you're just telling me, oh yeah, my ex did this, my ex did that, like, we're gonna end up probably really good friends, but like, it's not gonna go any further than that,
Yeah, that means it lets me know you're still thinking about them.
Yeah, and it also lets you know that, like, if your past relationships have been such trash, you either have really shitty taste or it's you.
Yeah, you're the one who picked that person in the first place, right? That was your choice.
Yeah.
So it's
So
kind of you insulting yourself right now.
I know. So that's
Because you know how they say when men complains about his wife, kids, and the house, they tell him it's like, your wife, it was your choice. Your kids, you made them. Your house, you built it. So it's your fault.
Yeah. Which circles back
I told
to
my husband
accountability.
Yeah, I told my husband once, he said, don't judge my choices, because he started making fun of something. He's like, he said, hey, don't judge my choices. You were one of them. He's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you bring up your ex and you just start talking about it. You talk too much about your ex. That's a no for me. That is a no. I'm already asking you, hey, check please.
Separate.
I know, separate checks.
Yeah, separate checks.
She's gonna stay here and find someone else. Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna ask, hey, do you powder your nose or something?
You drink so much water. Do you want to go?
She goes to the bathroom. I'm gone. Just I'm telling the waiter, back to tell her. Oh yeah, all right. So we got some good. All right, so that's the biggest turnoffs when it comes to men. All right, so I got the whole list here. So ladies, I have some. On this podcast, I always talk about the difference between what men and women are looking for. Right. I think in this dating market, in this dating culture today, based on a lot of conversation, not only I've had with a lot of ladies and men here, but also just what I've seen today in the dating culture when I go meet men and women. A lot of times I notice that a lot of people have no idea what they're looking for, what men are looking for, what women are looking for. So that's why I was interested to hear your thoughts. So I know you guys mentioned you guys want a masculine. I know Tuisina, you don't want a feminine man, you want a masculine man, right? You want a very masculine man. You want a guy that's not he doesn't submit to you. So ladies, so that's one of the things I've heard of a lot of women today, very the independent women. I'm not gonna submit to no man. All right. So let me ask you, ladies, are you when you find the right man, are you more than willing to submit to him? Because is that a good I'm interested to hear, because that's the narrative I hear from today for a lot of women, especially in America. Like, I'm not gonna submit to no man. And but I do believe that for women, it's natural for you as a woman to submit to a man.
Once you find the right one.
When you find the right man, especially a masculine man, not a feminine man. If the guy's a feminine man, if he's a beta,
because then you become a man in a relationship,
exactly.
And then you have no respect for him after a while, because then you don't see him as a man. And for me personally, because I don't want to speak for everybody, the men have to be at least a step higher than me. I always have to look up to him, So yeah, I can be independent, I can work, I don't have to depend on him, but I know if there's something and I have a small problem or whatever, he's here for me, and he say, you know what, this is my problem, you go, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. But I know I have him, if that makes sense.
I always say this on my podcast. A lot of women hate me for this. I always say, for women, you guys always want a superior man that's superior than you. I'm not saying that a man is better than you, but I know for a woman, you guys prefer your man to be better than you, to be superior than you. You don't want a guy that's doing less than you. That you want a guy that's a provider, the protector, the alpha, the strong, the ambitious, the masculine man. You don't want to feel like the man that you're taking care of him. You want your man to taking care of you.
Because then you're a mom. And you want to have your own children if you want to have. So you want to have a man that can help you to raise them.
All right. And I say this all the time, and a lot of women hate that. They hate, they think that when I say that, you're trying to suppress women. No, I'm not saying that men and women are different. I know that women, you guys prefer your man to be superior, You just want a guy that can, for like Saida said, you're independent. You can take care of yourself, but it's nice to know that your man can take care of you. Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that's where women get lost, because they keep coming on here and saying, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. Bitch, we hear you. Yeah, we don't need one. But if you have babies from multiple baby daddies, obviously you're looking,
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's funny.
just it's nice to have one, but like mostly we don't need one. But I want one because it's single parenting, like especially if you're a single parent. Like I don't think I'm gonna speak for myself, but I'm gonna generalize. Like if you're a single mother, like for me, I'm a widower, so I miss that extra income. I miss when my child is acting like the exorcist thing in from the movie. Like no one's there to back me up to tell her to stop. Like I miss that, like having a man in the house to like help with like certain things, someone to back you up. And so when women like are constantly saying, I don't need a man, I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but like you want a partner, you want someone mentally stimulating, you want someone to love you and protect you. Like women want that. And I think some women are in denial because it makes them sound weak, like we're the weaker sex because we've been the fairer sex for so many years. But like it's not a bad thing to be the fairer sex, like we're nurturers. Like yes, men are the alpha, but women are the omega. We are the end all be all. Like we give you life, like we give you, like we nurture you, like we raise you. Like the majority of children in the world today, like their teachers are women. They spend most of their time with women. We teach you, we birth you, we take care of you. Like nurses, like doctors maybe predominantly male, but nurses are the ones who take care of business in that hospital. They're women. So I don't know. Sometimes I think women they hear you, they hear what's being said, but they don't listen. So, it's also a female trait we're all trying to work on.
I know a lot of women gonna be mad if I say this, but whenever I hear a woman say, I'm strong, independent, I don't need a man, you know what that translation, you know what that means? I can't keep a man. That's what that means.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it because I was like, is that gonna make me sound like a bitch?
That's what that means. I tell you, when I meet ladies and they say I'm strong, independent, I don't need a man, I was like, nah, you can't keep a man. That's the problem. Men don't want to be with you. Because everything that the qualities that you exert are not the qualities that men are looking for and don't only want to look for, they want to be around. So because like I said, the same thing for you guys, right? Because King Tui said you want a very masculine man.
My daughter,
hello.
everybody.
Hello. Welcome.
And my niece. Yeah.
Welcome to the Kava Club Podcast.
Yes. I just ordered it for you. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, go inside. Okay, I ordered it already. It's coming. Orders? Huh? What's our orders? Can you go inside? See,
right.
like times like this.
Yeah. So no, it's so everything you guys said, like I said, one of the biggest disagreements I have with ladies is what men are looking for, right? And because a lot of ladies think that what men look for are the same things that what women look for, and I always tell women it's opposite. So if you said to you want a very masculine man, so if you want a masculine man, then the masculine man is looking for the opposite. He's looking for a feminine woman, right? Yeah. A masculine man is not looking for a man in a woman. The same thing that Saida said, right? You don't want to be the man in the relationship. You want to be the woman in the relationship, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. And I try to explain this to women, like, no, like I'm independent and strong, ambitious. He should be looking for independent, strong, ambitious woman. I was like, no, we're always looking for the opposite. Feminine women, we guys want masculinity. Masculine men, we want femininity. But yeah. of course, because of radical feminism, because of society, the breakdown of gender today, people, that's one of the things I've noticed from women is like, they don't realize, I always tell them, we do not look for the same things. It's opposite. And that's why a lot of the disagreements I have with ladies on on this podcast. So, but yeah, it was very interesting to hear you guys. And of course, you guys both said that you guys want a man that's ambitious, not a bum. That's why I always talk to a lot of men out there, and I know a lot of men get a lot of women will always tell me that they will date guys. Money doesn't matter. So let me ask you. But I believe that women care about a man's financial status to some degree. He can't just come in with nothing, broke. All right.
True.
So he has to show some, in some degree, he has to show that he has the ability to take care of you. So I want to ask you, ladies, so because you did bring it up, does a man's financial ability to take care of you, does that matter to some degree? Yeah, true or false?
Yes.
Yeah,
True.
very.
Yeah.
Even though some guys might get upset, but it's natural.
Yeah.
And I remember I was reading it. So it's natural in the woman to look financially stable in men, because as back in the days when we still lived in the caves, we want someone who's strong enough and he can bring us a best piece of meat that he will be able to feed our kids, so we can take care of the family. So, and then just to consider the fact when the woman having the kids and they're little, she need that financial support while he can take care of her and take care of her child, if that makes sense. So it is important, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Even at least, let's say he doesn't have to have a lot of money, but if you see the guy has a potential, that's the big thing too, because he can get a bunch of money from his dad, but guess what? If dad's no longer around, those money going to be gone very soon. And I've seen that happen with my friend. She married the guy. Family was very rich, and family went bankrupt because company didn't do well, and son wasn't really, he always had everything. So, because money do come and go too. If that person, the man, has a potential, let's say one day you have it, one day you can lose it, So you get fired, laid off, you'll go back to business not doing well. Can he again get up and do something? Or he's just gonna get depressed and become an alcoholic? So it's matter, but I feel like the money's matter, but it's more about the person. Like, men has to have that potential and that drive too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Tui, anything you want to add to that?
Money matters.
Yeah.
Potential is great, and it's everyone has it. Everyone should have it. Everyone should understand their potential, but potential doesn't pay your bills.
Yes.
So money does matter. You don't have to have a lot of it going into a relationship, but if you're broke ass cannot afford like at least a $2 sign meal like from Google, my friend, you should not be dating or taking someone out right now. Like, unless that girl's gonna pay for you, like, don't. It matters.
No,
it matters.
But you know what? The guys are looking for the girls that they actually financially stable. I've seen that happening. Oh, do you own anything? Oh, you don't have a degree, or you don't own your home. Is that your car? I'm like, oh, you have no place to live, dude. What is wrong with you?
I know. I wanted to avoid talking about
that.
fuckboys, but yes, those are the fuckboys are the smartest boys. Like they go around trying to find sugar mamas and like people with money to take care of their stupid asses. So they're either they may be crappy, but they're smart, They took what promiscuous women do and applied it to their own lives. Good for you, fellas. Keep your whole life strong.
All right, yeah. Whenever I hear women say that they don't care about money, I know that's a lie.
It's a lie. Everybody, they care.
Yeah, that would, and I always tell men the same thing. Like, if a woman tells you she doesn't care about your money, I always tell them that's a lie. It's always conditional, because if she's with you and you're in love, and there's for some unknown circumstance that you can't provide or you lose your job, if you don't pick it up temporarily, if you don't find a way to pick it up, eventually she's gonna leave. Because it's just the way it is. It's just because women always want a guy because you guys are the vulnerable sex, you guys get pregnant. So when you guys happen to get pregnant and have kids, you guys can't really do anything during that time. So that's why for a lot of women, they do want a guy that can step up and take care of it, because just in case if you do have kids, just in case you do get pregnant for that 9 months, you're very vulnerable at that time physically. So it's always good
Yeah.
to have a guy that can take care of you and step in and take care of you during that time. So um, I do want to ask you ladies one thing before we allow you guys to ask one question. I know both of you guys said you guys want a masculine man, a guy that knows what he's doing. So do you guys like guys that disagree with you? Because one of the things that I've noticed, do you like a guy that can challenge you, just have his own opinion and be willing to disagree
Yes.
with you and give you criticism? Because I know simps, that's why we have simps. They always agree. They always, whatever the woman says, he just agrees with them. He's submissive. He puts her on a pedestal, and he never has his own opinion. And whatever she says, she goes. She's the leader. And I always tell guys all the time, like, women like they like to be challenged. But if I say this, it's called, a lot of women say that it's controlling. And I always tell guys, like, women like the guy that's gonna challenge her. But I'm interested to hear your opinion, because do you guys like your guy to disagree with you, to challenge you, and check you sometimes, put you in a place sometimes? You like like that?
Yes.
Do you like that? Let me ask you that question.
Do you want to go first?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, well, again, the final decisions should be up to man. He has to say the last word. And sometimes it might be the last word that the woman's smart will lead him to without arguing. But you cannot always agree with everything, because you're going to get bored. How we can have an interesting discussion and hear each other if we always agree with everything?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go? I know you want to go. Why would I even ask, You always want to hear opposite side or a different way of view, because you can also learn from each other or see things from different perspective.
Okay. Tui? Same thing.
Believe it or not, I am not always right. So I expect I expect someone to like put me in my place, like especially if I'm not right, or if it's like it should be a conversation and not just a one-sided, like, this is what it is, but mostly I need mental stimulation. Intelligence is very attractive to me, and it doesn't mean just book smart, like you can be an artist and be passionate about that. Mm-hmm. And like it has to be like something that you can explain to me, and like a conversation, like you should be able to carry a conversation in anything we talk about, and like we should be able to debate things and have a dialogue, like a healthy disagreement is good. Mm-hmm. Like just as a general rule of thumb, I don't yell because it's pointless. Like I don't argue opinions because it's pointless. Mm-hmm. If it's pointless, I don't do it. Like if it's a conversation that can be had, like there's no problem that can't be resolved. Like if we're not watching football, and as long as you're not, rooting for the Lakers, there's no mm-hmm. yelling for me,
Mm-hmm.
No offense to you Laker fans.
No worries. All right. Hey, fellas, you heard it. I tell guys all the time on the podcast, they get mad. All the ladies, I'll tell them, like, women they like their guy to lead, and they like the guy to challenge him, to be able to disagree. They don't like simps. Men who are very beta, very submissive, or simps. I see it all the time. It does not work. And I just wanted to get that clarify that with both of you guys. But we'll move on to you, ladies. So I'll start with Saida. I'm sure you have a question, and allow you to ask your question, and we'll go right into it.
Oh yeah, I did have a question, but some of them. Let's see. How you personally feel like if the girl has a guy friends, like guys friends, mm-hmm. for men, how would you consider? Let's say you're dating the girl and she has guys, but they're the friends. Are you like very jealousy and obsessive person? Like no guy around, or don't even mention the name? Yeah.
So I always tell ladies this all the time. Like there's no such thing as a guy friend. If a woman, and when I say guy friend, I'm talking about like a best friend. Like, you talk to this guy all the time. I'm sure we all have guy friends. I have girlfriends as well, but I don't talk to them every single day. We don't text every single day. We don't go out and have lunch every single day. So that's the type of guy friend I'm talking about, right? So if I'm with a girl, I don't, if she doesn't have, if she has guy friends, I will tell her straight up that she has to stop seeing those guy friends. And if she doesn't want to stop seeing them, then I would just move on to the next girl, because every guy friend, he's waiting for that opportunity. Like he's not with her because
he's in the friend zone.
Yeah, he's in the friend zone. So he's not with her because because he wants to be friends. It means that he has feelings for her, and then for some reason, he's, like I said, he's beta. So he's not masculine. So he's not masculine enough to take control and ask her out and give her that and be able to date her. She's put him in the friend zone. So, but those guys are in those situations. Yeah, they're just waiting for the opportunity. And I know this as a guy, so I'm not gonna have. I don't want a guy that's gonna be around my girl that is waiting for the opportunity to sleep with her, have sex with her when things don't go well in our relationship. Because that's what guys do, right? They'll wait to me and her have an argument when something goes wrong. We have, relationships have their ups and downs. But as soon as they have their ups and downs, and then we're not talking, she's gonna go talk to her best friend, and that will give him the opportunity to, have sex with her. So I don't believe there's no such thing as guy friends. So if I want to date you and I find out you have a guy friend, you got to pick him, me. If you want to pick your friend, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's my piece.
No, yeah. There's no such thing as just the best guy friend.
Yeah.
There really isn't. Like same. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna generalize. Same as women. Like same with women. But like I do know some good women who wouldn't do that. But then again, like you never really know. So, but any guy, like I'm straight up, any guy friend that I do have, they've either thought about it, are thinking about it, or like would consider it, like sleeping with me and hooking up with me, like at any point in time. Facts.
Yeah. Have you guys ever, Saida, have you ever had a guy friend?
Well, not really.
Okay.
Yes and no, but mostly those the one who wanted to date. But I mean, I have some friends that I know him for like 20 years, but once in a while we can say happy holidays, how's kids, and that's it. But it's never, it's kind of weird for me. What are we going to talk about every day and go for lunch?
Yeah, exactly.
Hang out together. That's kind of like, I would not want my husband to do that.
Yeah.
I don't mind. He has some coworkers, like he went to school with, like neighbors, or they used to hang out together once in a while on the holidays and message on Facebook or maybe chatting once. But every day and long talks and go for lunch and movies, that would be like, excuse me. I should be your best friend, okay? That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Besides the male best friend, then I'm your first best friend. It's okay to have a guy's time. You need the guy's time too. It's not the same, but I should be your best friend. Yeah. I'm going to consider you my best friend too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you going to talk about every single day? And go ahead.
Actually, it happened that a friend of mine, she's not in the United States, she was crying, calling me that she was talking on the phone, and she's married. She has 3 kids. The guy obviously married. He had kids and the wife. And they were talking almost every day on the phone. So, and they have this kind of WhatsApp program.
Yeah.
Like they record voice messages. So obviously his wife caught him, and she listened to all these conversations that he's offering her to buy her car, and they're just talking, but like a kind of light flirt. And the wife caught him, and they obviously lived next to her husband's brother. They were neighbors, and she was threatening her that she's gonna take those videos and give it to her husband. So in my mind, it's like, why would you wanna? I mean, what do you want? I mean, why would you even talk to him? Like, for what? What is your point? If you're not happy with your husband, you need to separate, because it's, where I came from, we're very old school. So this is a big embarrassment for something like that. It can turn into the very big deal. It's for our whole family. So yeah, but thankfully it didn't turn out into anything bad, but it was a good lesson for her. It was like, well, you don't do it again ever.
Because one thing, the reason why that always happens, and one thing I do know is, for women, attention is really important for you guys. You guys want to have a man that shows you attention, right? So a lot of times, the problem with because I have a lot of guy friends that happen to it. The girl will have a guy best friend, and then she will end up either sleeping with the guy best friend, or something happens, and the relationship falls apart. And one of the biggest reasons why is because a lot of like Tuisina, a lot of the guys are simps, and they're afraid to tell women their standards and their boundaries of what they want. So a very masculine guy will come up to you and say, "Hey, if you want to be with me, I don't want you to have a guy friend," because men already know how other men think. They don't want to play those games. And if you want attention, if you want to talk to somebody, you gotta talk to me. You're not gonna talk about our relationship with another man. That's not gonna happen with me. Because I'm investing into you. I want our relationship to work. And if we're gonna talk about what's going on with the relationship, that's gonna be between me and you. You should not share that with any other man. Maybe your girlfriend, that's fine, but definitely you're not gonna share that with another man. That's our relationship, right? But a lot of men are simps. A lot of men are bait. A lot of men are afraid, like I said, to put that to say that to their woman. So they're just like, if the girl's like, what, I'll have a guy friend. Okay, baby. Okay. And then and then what happens? He goes with and she sleeps with the guy friend. So I always tell guys like, don't be afraid to tell you. Men, I know how men think. So sometimes you gotta protect women from themselves. And because I understand how men think. So if I know the guys all want to, there's no such thing as guy best friends, and I know guys and the friends are willing to try to slide in when the opportunity presents, I'm not gonna put her in that position, and I will let her know, no, this is not okay. And if she wants to go that route, I'm healthy enough to move on for that relationship, because I already know the outcome if that's gonna happen. But a lot of guys are not masculine enough, or to be able to say that to their woman. And I always encourage guys, you got to say that, because you know what's gonna happen if you allow your woman to have a guy best friend. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe sometimes it's kind of to boost their ego too? Because you mentioned something like lack of attention. Like if after a while you're together and you the girl stop getting enough attention, maybe compliments and taking her out and saying you look beautiful, but she's getting from somebody else, some other nice guy that works with her. He gives her compliments, say how smart she is, and then she doesn't get it from her spouse or her man, and then you want to hear that. And I feel the same with the guy too, maybe.
But that's where communication is important, right? If he's not giving attention, then talk to him.
If you have a nagging wife that you always come from work and she's tired, and he's like, hey, I was all day with the kid, I'm so tired, can you just pick up your stuff and everything? Yeah. He's after a while, and then before she was nice and pretty, but now she's an old robe. And I get it, especially when you get busy and your kid's little. But I feel like, and then at work, there's other pretty girl who's like, oh my God, you're so strong, you're so smart. And I mean, who would not like that? Yeah, I would want to probably hang out with that girl, then come home.
Yeah, so I would say this, if you're not, that's why relationship is all about communication, right? So if you're not getting the attention for both men and women, if you're not getting the attention, affection you're getting from your spouse, then you should talk to them, right? Talk to them. Why are you talking to somebody else? But I would say this for a lot of the modern women. A lot of the modern women want a very masculine man, but this is the absolute truth. A lot of modern women are not ready to handle a masculine alpha man, because a guy that's very ambitious, guy that's very alpha and very masculine, he's working towards something. So that's what comes when you choose a guy that's very ambitious. He has goals, he has dreams. He's trying to create a future, a legacy for your family. He's not like these bum dudes that's gonna be all around, have all the time in the world to talk to, give you all the attention. If you want a very masculine man, you understand he may not have the time to be with you. He will make time, but he's gonna be busy. So a lot of these girls, they say, I want a masculine man, I want a guy that has a good job, and you finally meet a guy that has a good job, he's always working, then you complain. Well, he's always working, but that's what happens if you want a nice life, you want a big house, you want to have financial security. It comes from work. And so that's what you wanted, and now you finally have it, and you complain he's working too much, right? So a lot of these women, I'm not saying modern women, a lot of these modern women, they want a masculine alpha guy, but they can't handle it. So if you want that type of guy, just understand his time is limited. he will give you quality time, but he's gonna be working because he's building your future. He's making sure that your kids don't have to worry about any kind of financial insecurities, to take care of the family, not only for you right now, but also for the future. So I've heard that so many times from women, that they want a guy that has a nice job, they want a guy that's ambitious, but they finally get him and then they complain, oh, he's not giving me no attention. that's what it
Then
takes.
you have to make him to give you attention.
Exactly.
One time I told her how I was, it's like, it's been a while, you never took me out. It's like, yeah, I've been busy. I said, listen, here's the deal. If you're not going to take me out this week, you know what's going to happen? He's like, what? He said, I will take you out. He's like, okay.
And I always hear from ladies, what do you call it? They always use like the examples, right? Oh, my best friend's husband or boyfriend, he always has time for, because he's a bum. That's why he always has time. That's why he always has time, because he's a bum. I'm actually working, doing something with my life. So
yeah,
that's what, and I hear and I see that all the time. So I would just say that for all the ladies.
But it's also really bad to compare to other people. I would hate if my husband would tell me, it's like, oh, there's my friend's wife does this and that, and you don't. I was like, well, why don't you marry her friend's wife then?
Yeah.
So
so that's what I'm saying is for all the ladies out there, like that's why they have those best friends, right? But if you want to marry the masculine, strong, independent, ambitious guy, just understand that that guy won't have all the time in the world, but he will if you communicate with him, right? Communicate with him to let him know, hey, you need some time, because men, when we're just tunnel vision, when we're focused on something, we just block out everything, especially guys who are very ambitious and very goal oriented, like we just, when we want something done, we sometimes we just lose ourselves in our work. So as women, communicate that with them. So so that, oh, I'm sorry, because sometimes it's not even intentional. It's not like we're intentionally not giving you attention. It's just guys who are very ambitious, very goal oriented. They want to build a legacy. When they're in their zone, they just want to, they're in their zone. So communicate with them, but definitely not talk about it and get the attention from the simp or the friend zone guy or or the bum. Of course he has all the time in the world, because he has no future. Like he's not building anything for his future. But yeah, that was all the bums and simps are probably mad at me right now.
I know. He's like, guy, what are you doing?
They'll come at you on Wednesday, I'm sure.
It's all good. It's all good. Anything to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
Okay. I've been I feel like I've been full circle on like the bum scale, or the man bum scale.
Yeah.
My husband, he was not an alpha male, we got married because I was sad and emotional after losing my brother. And we met around the time when I needed like a security blanket. Mm-hmm. That is not a good time to get married, by the way, everybody.
Yeah.
But we got married and we had a baby and we made it work, but he's not an alpha male. Like he wasn't someone that even my family was surprised that I brought him home.
Yeah.
So, but he wanted to be. So, it takes a lot of work to make a one night stand into a husband, by the way.
Yeah.
But we made it work. I made him feel like he was the man, but it took a lot of work on my part to do so. And it's a lot of work to turn that around because his nature isn't dominant.
Yeah.
It's not. And so for the first 2 years, he stayed home while, I finished my degree and I worked, and so it was fine for me, but I know it wasn't fine for him. And so I found him a good job, a good paying job,
Mm-hmm.
And then I took a turn staying home, but then he was just not making enough now. So I was like, okay. So then we both went back to work, and then it's just, it takes a lot. It just takes a lot to be a man. So
yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing.
But I think, it takes a lot also to be a woman too.
Of course.
Oh, no. Automatic. But that's an automatic though. Everybody knows, because again, I had to push him without being a nag, without being a bitch. Like, and then I had to like make him feel like he was the man, like, and then it's like, it's a lot of work. But women, we can do that. We're very intelligent emotionally, and it's easy. It's not easy, but like we have the ability to do all these things that a man can't even process emotionally, so like it's so much more work being a woman than I should have been a dude, like
No, right?
I mean, get granted, I would have so many illegitimate children running around, but I'd at least take care of them. But like as a woman, I have to have like self-respect and shit. So like I can't be a hoe, So it sucks.
Yeah.
But like, I just, oh, that made me sound like a dick too, huh? Like it's not that I don't expect a lot from a man, but like I just expect more from my own gender, I think. Because we know better. And like it's not. It makes me sound like I'm sexist because I'm pretty much saying that women are better, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. We, like I said, we all go through our own. It's both.
Yeah.
Go through it, both men and women.
Yeah.
But it's just challenging, And yeah, and I'm glad I'm a man.
So much harder being a girl.
All right, so let's Tui, ask you the question.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, hold on. Before that. Wait, first, do me a favor, Will you like give, I don't know if anyone you probably have done this, but can you give us give everyone a definition of an alpha male?
Oh, alpha male, yeah. Alpha
like
male,
what your definition is, like what an alpha man is to you.
Yeah, alpha male is like, a man is he has certain traits, right? So alpha male is dominant, he's a leader, he's ambitious, he's strong, he's assertive, he's strong in his masculinity. He's not willing to be submissive. He wants to be the one leading the situation. So that's what an alpha male is. Probably opposite of all the things that you guys saying about, a feminine man, guy that's submissive, guy that's a simp. So that's what an alpha male is.
So, well, I know you don't like opinions, but like in your opinion, like what do you think the problems so many women have when you tell them like you can't attract a man like this? Like, I mean, you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, okay. So you're saying
like why do you think they have a problem? Because
attracting an alpha male?
Yeah, because okay, to me, I understand what you're saying. Like I totally do, because I'm sorry, ladies. The truth of the matter is, it's true. Like, men are attracted to like feminine women, and they want like from right off the bat, like they're attracted to soft features and curves. Someone who looks nurturing. And honestly, like, a man's gonna look at your hips. Come on, girls. Like, realistically, like, if they can't see your hips, no, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, that sounds so bad. Anyway, but like, what do you think the problem is? What do you think, in your opinion, like what so many of their issues are with that?
All right. There's a multitude of reasons of why a lot of women can attract alpha male. Number one, I would say in America, radical feminism, right? So they're telling women that an alpha male is toxic. A guy that's strong, a guy that's confident, a guy that's masculine, a guy that's an alpha, a guy that's a leader, a guy that's not afraid to challenge you, not afraid to tell you his standards as a woman. They're telling women that this guy's toxic. It's called toxic masculinity, right? So they're telling women that these guys are if a guy, the word masculine itself, a lot of women, when they hear that, the first thought is like suppression. When you meet a guy, that's what a lot of the feminists, when I talk to women who are they're radical feminists, as soon as if I as a man, if I talk about my masculinity, being strong, independent of what I want in a woman, they automatically think I'm suppressing them, or I'm trying to put them down. So that's one of the reasons, right? The problem with a lot of women also, and also because of radical feminism, a lot of women don't know what these men are looking for. So feminism, what they're telling women is, hey, live how you want. So a lot of the things. So we live in a society today. They're empowering women to live however they want, be whoever they want. Which I don't mind. Like you said, I'm not gonna. However you want to live your life, go ahead. That's fine. I'm not gonna judge anybody for their choices. But there are consequences to the choices you make, especially if you're trying to attract a certain type of person. So the perfect example I would use, both you guys ladies said, hey, you guys don't want a bum. You guys don't want a guy that has a plan for his future. So as a man, if I want to attract a good woman, I want to attract a woman that's gonna be loyal, a woman that is gonna be a good mother for my child, then I have to go out there and work. I have to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. I have to get a job, have a career, I'm building something. I have to work on myself to be able to be a masculine, be confident, and be a great leader. Those are things I'm looking for. But the thing is, for a lot of women, because of the feminism, like they don't know what these guys are looking for. They think that what these guys are looking for, the same things they're looking for. But guys are very alpha. They're always looking for the same thing. They just want a very feminine woman. They just want a woman to be the nurturing, the caring, the loving, and they don't want to hope. Right? They don't want a promiscuous woman, right? They don't want a woman that's trying to be a man, that's trying to be the alpha, trying to be the leader in the relationship. A very alpha masculine man. He is comfortable in his masculinity, and he wants to lead. It's just natural in his role. So he's not looking for the strong, independent, masculine woman. He's looking for the feminine woman. So the problem with the today is a lot of women today is a lot of them are masculine, and then because the biggest thing is because you guys have the opportunity. The good thing about women today, you have the opportunity to choose a career which was different before 1960, right? Because you were very limited. So now you guys have the opportunity, which is great. I'm a big advocate. Yeah, go out there, be successful, whatever dreams and goals you guys want to achieve. That's great. But the thing is, when a woman, in order for you to succeed in the workplace, where it's very male dominated, depending on the industry that you want to go into, you have to have certain masculine traits. So a lot of times, very career-oriented women become very masculine themselves, which is fine, but you can't bring that into a relationship. So go be dominant at the workplace, be dominant at your career. But when you come home, you need to put on that femininity hat, right? For your man, right? And a lot of women don't know how to switch, right? And if they do switch, and if you do tell a woman, hey, you need to be feminine, they think that it's being suppressive. Like, why can't you just? No, it's just we're different, and that's one of the things. That's the biggest thing. Just you can attract a masculine man. Is you just got to be a feminine woman. It's just a lot. The thing is, because of society today, there's no such thing as gender. A lot of times, women. We talked about it in the last podcast. The rise of single motherhood. These women, because if you grow up in a household that your mom raised you, your mom is very masculine because she has to fulfill both roles. There was no father figure in the household, so the mom had to be masculine in order to take care of the kids. So they get that example from their mom. So the daughters of single moms become masculine themselves, and they're not used to a guy that's going to challenge them, that's going to exert his authority, because the woman was the one in charge of the household. So when they finally meet an alpha masculine guy and he's exerting his authority, he's telling her, "Hey, look, your guy friends, cut that shit out." All right, right? She's not used to that. She's not used to a guy coming in her life and giving her boundaries, telling her, "Hey, I'm the man. I'm the leader. This is how I run. This is what I do. And if you want to be with me, this is how I'm going to roll." They're not used to that. They're not used to that male authority in their life. And because they're already masculine themselves, they want to be the man. It's just conflict when they meet an alpha masculine man. So I think I don't know, it was Saida who said it, or was it you? The strength of a woman is her femininity. I always say, woman, that's the beauty and the strength of a woman is your femininity, to be able to make a masculine man vulnerable. A masculine man, like I seek vulnerability. I want to be vulnerable for the right woman. I'm not gonna be vulnerable with a hoe.
But also submissive for the right man.
Exactly. All
Right.
It did
So
actually happen to me, I have to admit, because I would always say, I never report the guy in text messaging where I'm going. It's like, I never done this. I always live on my own, and I'm not doing it's like, hey, I'm here, I'm there. And when I started dating my husband, he told me a few times, when you get home, make sure you text me. I just want to make sure you made it safe.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I forgot. Second time, sure, I fell asleep. That was something. And he's like, one day he kind of said to me, said, listen, this is one thing I need. I'm not trying to be jealous or anything. I just want to make sure you're safe. I really care. You want to go out somewhere? You go, have fun. But when you get home, I want to make sure you're safe. I need you to text me that you're okay. Can we do that? And I was like, okay.
Okay.
but I also told him this, like, okay, but it's gonna take me some time to get used to it. I might forget, so don't get angry. I'm gonna try to work on it, but that's something I'm not used to doing. Right now, it's just like automatic. Like every day I get to work, I text him out of my home. He's like, I'm at work. Then I got home. Okay, I'm on my way. So it's become like a natural right now. But before, it was a huge learning curve, and I was the one, I never do it. No, but then I was like, okay, because I felt that that really he cares, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So it wasn't really that bad to me.
You know what? You know why he did that? Because for a guy that's very your man is masculine. For a guy like as a masculine man, we're trying to build a future for the family, right? And if I'm out here, this is how we think. If I'm out here working my ass off and busting my ass and putting all these extra hours, not only to build future for my wife, but also build out the legacy for our kids. I just want to know that I'm not doing this for no fucking hoe. All right, they're sleeping around and at home. That's one of the, and that's why for guys are very masculine, they're very protective, and they're not. I'm not saying that they're to the point where like they're always telling you, hey, this is where you at. I'm just saying that as a man, we just want to make sure that if I'm going to go out there and put in this work and go out to the world and put all this work for my woman, I just need that peace in my mind, in the back of my mind, that I know my woman is safe. Because as a masculine man, we want to protect and provide for a woman. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. And also we want to make sure that nothing's happening to you. So we are very overprotective of our woman. And because of radical feminism, if a man's very protective or put like limits or boundaries on a woman, they're telling these women, oh, that guy's controlling. No, we're not controlling.
That's what I thought too. Is just being controlling. I don't let anyone to control me.
No, it's just we care so much. The more masculine a man is, the more he's worried about your safety, your well-being, and he just wants to make sure that you're taken care of. That he doesn't want to be at work busting his ass all day, and if something happens to you, that's one of the things. He just wants to make sure you're safe. And go ahead.
I was just going back to a question saying about that alpha man not getting attracted. It's sometimes I feel like women naturally knows how to play different roles, like role of the princess, being like, thank you, honey, like when you get the gift, be happy, excited, be someone caring who can cook and keep the household clean, and the same also who can independent and intelligent, like work or businesswoman, whatever. So I guess sometimes maybe we forget that role, that being that princess or like feminine girl, and that's when that two strong personalities get, because there is only like usually one head hold in the family. So when it's two very strong personalities meet together, then one kind of have to go compromise a little bit to let other one be a leader, if that makes sense, because it's really hard to be two leaders for one clan, if that makes sense.
There's only one leader in every organization. There is no two leaders. Once there's a CEO, there's a king. There has to be one.
And yes, and another thing too for women in these days, it's actually comes also from women. And I've seen right now having a 3-year-old daughter, and while I was growing up, especially with the old school, I don't know how they raise here, but I see it right here too. When we're raising the kids, we're raising the girls, be strong, be independent, learn how to take care of yourself, because men comes and go, you're gonna have kids, you have to raise them. And that's how we raise our girls like that. And that's how we've been raised too. But with the boys, well, honey, because it's a man, it's a boy. You have to have a best food. even like back in the days when they didn't have enough product, like during USSR, we want to make sure eggs were very rare. So they only keep it for men, for boys, because they have to eat best food. If they fail, oh honey, like moms, they just kind of, they okay. If the girls fail, you're fine, go make your brother some food, clean after him, do his dishes, or do his, wash his clothes. So that's why we came out in this society. I feel there's very super independent women that just been raised that way, and they already been brainwashed. I have to be strong, independent. I don't need nobody. And very immature guys that they look for a mama, and even though like the little kid they fell, they run and try to pick him up. They say, hey, if he's not bleeding, let him get up, because then how he's gonna survive in this life?
Exactly.
So I feel it's really goes since our child, the kids. That's how we've been raised, and maybe how we're raising kids too. And I don't know why it's such a big difference, but right now I see a lot with the moms, like I'm interacting, how they overprotecting boys. But in the boys, you have to love them and trust them. You can do it. I believe in you. Go ahead. Yeah. And the girls, they really need their dad. And a lot of times, like also single moms, they don't have that dad who can treat them like a princess. So they don't know how to act to be a princess, or sometimes, dad can work long hours and they don't get that enough attention to.
Yeah.
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
My personal observation that I've seen.
Yeah. Everything you said was absolutely true. And I've seen that also as well. But yeah, so I mean, that's why, like I said, like, I could just tell Saida that you're a feminine woman too. So that's why when your husband, you had the conversation, it was easy. Like, you guys were able to work it out. But I guarantee you, if you were a very masculine woman and your husband said that to you, hey, had that conversation, you guys would be arguing.
You see, that's what I'm saying. I would argue with the other guy probably, but as I say, remember when I mentioned with the right one? Yeah. When I actually made the right person, that my husband right now, then I realized, oh wait, that's someone that maybe I should not argue, and I should think about it. Like every time it's like, maybe I should think before I say something, because we might get into a fight. And if I already think that we're together and we're going to live together, then it has to be a different approach. Yeah.
Because what happens is, like, when you finally attract the guy that for sure that he's going to take care of you, and he's fulfilling his responsibility as a man, you have a level of respect. Even though you guys may disagree and have, every relationship, there's ups and downs, arguments, but it's always that level of respect. If a man is not masculine enough and the man is not alpha enough, the woman will disrespect him. And if the guy is not masculine, he's going to allow her to disrespect him.
But he also has to earn that, though.
Exactly. He has to earn it by...
You're not going to come and just boss me around and be like, where are you? Excuse me.
He has to fulfill his responsibility as a man. If the guy comes in and fulfills his responsibility and prove to you that he's capable as a man to lead you and take care of you, women, innately within you, oh, this guy I can respect. And when you have a guy that you respect, and be able to submit to him, even though you guys have your ups and downs, but because you respect him, because he's fulfilling his role as a man, you can be able to overcome a lot of the arguments. A lot of women will go into relationships with guys who are not masculine. They don't respect their man. The man's not fulfilling his role, or they're the one leading the relationship, and they're always fighting, because at the end of the day, like, the woman is the one, because he can't respect the man, there's always going to be bad arguments between both of them, and then the relationship is going to fall apart eventually.
I guess also you have to evaluate what's the most important, like we brought it up, like the biggest turn off, and the qualities. When you see, it's like, okay, is that worth it? A friend of mine the other day told me, and they have she's the man in the relationship too. So, and I remember she mentioned one time something, I could see you you would do, if you say something, you go with the way how he said. You're not going to be arguing for your own opinion. Yeah. I say, yes, you agree, but there is a reason why too. It's like there is a lot of great qualities that he does, and I know what he brings on the table, and I respect that. So if that takes me sometimes, say that's fine, we'll do it that way. I'm okay with that, because I get those most important things that I need. He gives me, so the other things that I might not agree, I mean, I'm okay to
Yeah,
be okay with that, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. Because I know for a lot of women, that one of the most important things that you guys seek in men is like security, right? Just making sure that he is taking care of you. He's providing your future with him is secure. He's gonna provide and protect for you. And as long as that guy, like you said, bringing that to the table, which is as a woman that's one of the hardest things to find is find a not only find a guy that you love, find a guy that's gonna be also loyal to you, but also find a guy that's able to take care of you financially and can provide and protect you. Because when you find that type of guy, you already know. Oh, okay. Like this is
And then once you start feeling yourself as a woman
yeah,
and you understand that it's okay to be a weak, then you realize, oh, I can be weak too. That it actually feels great.
yeah, yeah. You just know that there's not a lot of guys like that. Like there's not a lot
No,
of alpha.
unfortunately.
There's not a lot of guys like that. So when you find that type of guy, you guys like you're gonna respect him to the point so much that yeah, when you guys disagree, you guys okay, it's all fine because you just have an understanding that there's not a lot of guys like this. So when you find that type of guy, so Tui, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
I don't think you guys said anything I would have said any differently.
Yeah. So
Let's get down to the let's get down to the real questions, guys. What do alpha males like in the sack?
Oh man, hey, shoot. That's hey, one that depends on the man, but hey man, they're like a freak. They're
They're like a freak or they like a freak? Come on, Will. Shell it out.
well, what's that saying? Lady in the what's a lady? What lady in the streets?
Lady streets, freak in the sheets.
Freak in the sheets.
Do you think alpha males are submissive in the bedroom, or do you think they're alpha all the way around?
I think they would. I don't know. I think he's. That's a tough one because because I know every guy is different, but
maybe it depends on the personality too.
Yeah, because when it comes to sex, everybody's different. Some people like there's so many different types of level of sex and so it's
I heard
it's
friend
really
of mine
different.
one time told me like she met a guy and he's like a book nerd with wearing glasses, and she's like, I would never think that. Wow. So obviously they start dating, and she was really impressed because he looked like very quiet. You barely hear him, but I guess when it gets to the business, it's a totally different person.
Was he an alpha? Was he an alpha male? Do you know? No,
he wasn't. He was like he's like a book nerd, like very quiet. You barely hear him. I don't know. So that's what she said.
I think for alpha, I think it will still translate. I mean, yeah, I have some masculine alpha friends. I mean, I don't ask them like, we talk about sex, but we don't like specifically like how it is,
Okay. Do you guys swap? Do you guys swap tips?
Yeah, we just talk about I just had sex with my wife, but we don't get the details like, are you getting dominated by your wife or like we never get to that deep. We never get that specific. But I'm pretty sure that it would translate into the bedroom. If you're alpha in real life, like you would love to be dominant. But in the bedroom, I mean. So, but I don't know. What do you guys do? You guys like the men to control in the bedroom, or do you like to be the one in control in the bedroom?
Yeah,
I guess it depends.
It also depends on it depends on the mood, right?
Hey, yeah.
Like I would say the majority of the time, I like when the man takes control. But there are some times where it's like I feel like doing this.
Yeah, and then there's so many there's role play. There's like all these things.
I know there's so many. Come on, girl, shell out your dish too. I want to know what keeps your marriage spicy. What keeps your marriage spicy, girl? How you keep your man? Give all these ladies some tips.
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Asking you, Saida.
Like what exactly?
I don't know what. So what do you prefer in the bedroom? Like what do you like? Do you prefer your man being a little more dominant most of the time? Like
it depends. I guess it depends on the mood. So it varies. So it's not like a very standard, like
Yeah,
today
that's
I'm
when
the main one and today I'm the main one. Okay, don't forget, today's my turn. So we
Do you
don't
guys
have
use-
that. It just
do you
goes
guys use
naturally.
toys? Do you guys use toys?
Not really.
No.
No.
Role play?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because they say, why would I use toys if I have a real one?
Right?
Okay. I like it.
I'm asking because these are questions that people have DM'd me.
All right. So yeah, so let me ask you ladies. I know we were talking about what do you think because we were talking about like how a lot of women don't know what alpha masculine what they're looking for. But I want to ask you this. Well, I know Saida is already married, but I will ask Tui this: if a man wanted to date you, what would be like a liability to dating you?
Liability?
Yeah, like what is something that he may have to? I'm interested if you have one, if you don't, but because now I've seen a lot of women. I see a lot of women today that they do have traits or things that may be a liability to a very to a man that's looking for a committed relationship, but they're not aware of it. So they have no this a perfect example would be like women out there just going out there and being promiscuous and being hoes. Like they don't know that being a hoe is gonna stop them. It's gonna be unattractive for a lot of men out there. You have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. So when I talk to them, I have a lot of friends that are like that, girlfriends, and I tell them all the time, it's like, yo, the way you're living your life right now, that is one of the reasons, being promiscuous, being a hoe, and this is one of the reasons why so many guys are not taking you seriously, but they don't understand it. They're just like, why? Because they believe that radical feminism, they're telling them that you can do whatever you want to do and then still be able to attract a man later on in life, but that's not how life works. A very masculine man, a good man, is looking for a specific type of girl. The same way.
Yeah, you're right. Because even my husband told me once, like, I would never marry a girl that would sleep on the first date. That was just I would never do, no matter how much I would like her, because that would give me the red flag.
Yeah.
So if someone I would used to ask this question, and some guys would think I'm just being cocky, but I was just curious what they're gonna say. It's like, hey, it's like, would you go out with me? I said, well, tell me 3 good reasons why should I go out with you? Yeah. And a lot of times they're like, oh, well, I get so lost, and I was like, then I guess there's no reason why I should go out with you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so like I just how to say, the liability, I always look at the guy if I go out as a potential, because I don't want it to waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
Time is precious. So if I'm talking with someone and spending time, I'm instantly thinking whether that's going to be my future spouse, because I'm just talking personally for myself. I never understand just dating temporarily. When I came to the States, I see a lot of people have a lot of ex-boyfriends. I was like, yeah, but are you planning to get married? Because that was the first thing. I was like, are you considering to get, no, we're just dating. Or there was not this, like, oh, there's nothing serious between us. We're just sleeping together. I was like, how is that? How is it nothing serious? Because for me, it was very serious. So if it get to the point, it's very serious. So, and I remember somebody told me that that girl that I was working with, her sister got pregnant and they've been dating with the boyfriend for 3 years. So they had a baby. It's like, so are they getting married? They're like, oh, I don't know, because my sister doesn't want the guy to marry her just because of the kid. Mm-hmm. And with me, it was like, I start kind of getting confused. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? They've been dating for 3 years now. They have a kid. How many more reasons you need to get married? I'm like, what are you waiting for? So yeah, it has to be, I have to see myself in the future. That's why in the first date or two, it would already tell me whether I'm going to see you again or not. Usually first date.
So Saida, let me ask you this, like you're married now, but looking back when you were younger, were there things you were doing when you were younger, looking back at it now, because you finally found a good man and you're married? Were there certain behaviors you did back in the day when you were younger, but looking back at it now, you're like, man, those are behaviors that wasn't gonna get me a good husband. Like just looking back, there's certain things. That's why there's certain behaviors you did back in the day when you were younger looking back as now as a woman, then you're like, man, that I was wild back then, and I'm glad I stopped doing that because if I didn't stop doing that.
To be honest, I never been wild.
Okay,
so that's the thing.
Besides, I was just like example, but were there certain things that you did looking back at it now, like, man, I'm glad I stopped doing that because if I kept it going, I probably wouldn't have found my husband. Like any behaviors or things you did, or I'm just interested to hear. That's why we talk about liabilities.
No, honestly, just because no, the one thing I was never really being wild again because the way I was raised, it's a very old school. In my case, like I never. One time a guy asked me, "What is your favorite bar?" It's like I don't go to bars. He's like, "What do you mean?" To me, it's just a waste of time. You just sit and drink, and it's like okay, if there's some kind of entertainment dinner, but just sit and drink is like and get drunk. It's I could never understand that. So I always thought like, I don't want to be in the situation because I was determined, like if I'm with somebody, it's going to be my spouse. Is that I don't want to look back and things like, oh, I wish I wouldn't done that or being embarrassed for something that I've done before. And when I already have a family, the only thing I was very, I was very independent. I always decided, I never asked permission. I would do whatever I want. So if that would stay the same way, we probably would not be married. So that's why I grew up and I was very, and another thing, I was very, how to say that in English? Sorry, Russian is my third language. So I would get mad really quick. Okay. So like now I'm more patient, but before you tell me something, I was like, overreact. Yeah, I would overreact and get mad. Okay, yeah. Crazy. But no, I was like, okay, you have to be quiet. So yeah, I was super impatient, so I wouldn't be like. Okay.
No, it just sounds to me that you were raised very traditional, right?
I was raised very traditional. So, but at the same time, my dad wasn't around that much, so that's why I was like super independent. Got you. Kind of like if the guy wouldn't be around, I wasn't really waiting for one, if that makes sense. So I was like, I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to take care of my family, my mom. So I was kind of dad in the family. So I was the oldest one. I was providing. So it would be difficult. I was 30. So where I came from, the girls get married right after high school. Like we have my classmate got married when she was 17, and that was pretty late. And there were some rural areas they get married at 16. So I got married almost 30. It was very old for my kind of people. That was super old. That's why it took me so long to meet my husband, because it was just the difficult since I was, you don't tell me what to do. I don't tell you where to go. That kind of thing.
Wait, you got married when you were 30?
Yes. Well, we met, I turned almost 29. So we met, and 4 months later, he proposed. Next month, we got married. So it was pretty fast.
And like I said, just listen to you explain how you are, your behaviors. I'm not surprised you're married. Like you went wild. You cared about like your image of going to bars and stuff. Those are all things that men looking for. The more traditional you are as a woman, like especially if an alpha masculine guy, those are the type of women they're always attracted to. So I'm not surprised that he found you. And once he realized that, oh, this girl is very traditional. Like I always tell women all the time, like when a guy finally finds a good woman, he's gonna wipe you up quick. Quick.
I think like people thought I'm pregnant. It was like, no, we only got pregnant 2 years later. It was like, why are they getting so fast? It was like it was just people were shocked. But it happened really quick. But when it happens, it happens. I guess when you just know.
When I see, because I have friends like in a relationship, they've been dating for like 5 years, 6 years. I'm like, I'll be honest with them. Like, look, if he hasn't wifed you yet after 5 years,
I know people who've been dating longer than that. It was like they've been dating like 15 years. It's like, why would you even get married? I'm like, it's gonna be boring. You gotta find something else.
I always say, like, when a guy finally finds a woman that he like, especially alphas, I'm not talking about the betas. The betas will date a girl for like 10 years. But when an alpha finds a good woman, like he realized, oh my God, I just found a good woman. It's not like all these other women. He's gonna wife you whoever as fast as he can, because he just knows like you're a woman that you're not like the rest. So it doesn't take an alpha man like 5 years to figure out that you're a good woman. If it takes longer than that, then clearly as a man.
But it's also level maturity, I think, too. Of course, it wouldn't happen if we would be in our early 20s because we would
yeah.
It was just the same point. Like, we're all growing up. Okay, we both know what we want. Why should we waste the time?
Yeah, I mean, alpha men are usually older, right? You don't really see the alphas now; they're in their younger 20s. Because there are a few, but majority of men are still trying to figure themselves out in their early 20s. You don't really get that realized because I like Tui said, alpha. You're not born an alpha. You work. There's a lot of work that goes into it. The way you're raised, and the type of examples of men in your life, all the type of people you spend around. So all those things goes into to learn. Because when I was in my 20s, I can clearly say that I had no idea who I was. And I didn't have the mindset, the frame of mind I had today. That took a lot of years of work within myself. So the alpha men are probably gonna be around closer to 30. So once you meet those guys, he's gonna for women, he doesn't care about the age. 20, 29, 21. If he finds a good one, if you're a traditional woman, he knows you're not like the rest. He's gonna put that ring on that.
Yeah, that's the reason actually mainly I was always attracted to older men because I thought that also like in the father figure a lot. So that's something smarter, wiser, more mature. They already stable, know what they want, protective. But then I realized that the age difference, there's really a brain difference.
Yeah, exactly. Tui, we'll come back to you. The question was, what are your if a guy wanted to date you, like, do you have any liabilities that come with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna know like immediately if you're passive, like it's not gonna work. Like that's literally gonna tell me all I need to know. Like, and like if I feel like someone is passive, I'll at least like ask some correct questions to tell me what I need to know. But I'm usually never wrong about people. So
what would you ask? Like, how would you know? What would the certain thing you would ask?
Hey, before you answer that, I want to ask you is this true? Because I think when I always tell men all the time, like when it comes to a date, plan it and don't ask her. That's one of the clear ways you can show you're
annoying.
Don't ask her girl where to go. Don't ask her girl just tell her, hey.
You can ask what she likes.
Yeah, what
she's
she likes,
okay with this kind of food.
What type of food? Yeah, but just tell her, hey, I'll pick you up at this date. Be ready at this time. I'm coming over. I'm gonna pick you up. We're going to eat. We're going out on a date, right? Yeah. But if you tell her, hey, where should we go? What time should be the date? What day should it be? That's beta simp energy. All
right. Is this a good restaurant? Are you sure?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, readiness is important. Like, you don't have to be super, super prepared, but like a general idea. I don't want to go to a movie. Like if we're getting to know each other, it's got to be something. I mean, if you want to go hiking, that's cool. Like, I think one of the coolest dates I've ever been on was we went shooting and then like axe throwing and stuff. And nice. It's gonna tell you a lot about someone, while you shoot stuff. And like throw and throw shit, like it's gonna tell you a lot, and then and if you start shooting and you don't hit anything, well, you might not hit anything afterwards either.
Just get closer. If you miss the target, just get closer.
Yeah, like pull the target in. Pull it
in. All right. So being very passive, but what about you? Like, are there any things that you feel like that for a man, if that would be like something you do in your life or something you do now that you feel like that men would be like unattracted to?
Oh, totally. Like, I've been the toxic one. I've been the passive one. I've been too aggressive. Like, but I think I'm like a serial like first dater because everyone thinks that they can fix me up. Everyone thinks they know what's best for me, right? So like sometimes people set me up on these dates, and sometimes I almost feel like they're like it's a good time to test some theories out, test some things out, you know. Like,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, in my past for sure, like I've never been a hoe, but I do think that I don't know. I feel like my body count might be high for an acceptable amount. Like
Okay.
it's double digits, but it's not above like the teens, you know.
Yeah.
But still, you know, I
Okay.
think that would be the only deterrent. Also, I gained a lot of weight, so it's not cute right now.
Okay.
I would love to blame COVID, but that's it's like COVID plus the last couple of years.
Okay.
Like, hey, moving back to Hawaii, everybody, I just want to tell everybody this. If you move back to Hawaii, just be prepared to get fat.
We'll be fasting before we go there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah. So do you put in a lot of work? Like because I know we talked about like, you know, alpha, you have to put in a lot of work into being an alpha. You don't become an alpha. The same thing with you. Like, do you put in a lot of work of yourself? Because I do tell this to women, and I remember a lot of women get mad at me when I tell them, like, I always say, look, you have to understand that masculine alpha man that's going to provide and protect for you and take care of you.
Yeah.
Those guys are rare, especially today in modern day dating 2021. So because I always tell this, women are always looking for the same type of guy. They're always looking for the alpha, for the masculine. But the reality is there's a limited supply of those type of men. Also, that's not every woman can attract that. So now always a lot of women is like the alpha always has a lot of options. So if you want him to pick you, then you have to stand out some kind of way.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of women they hate it when I say that, because it's implying that that she's not worth, like, you're not worth it for an alpha guy. Yeah. Right. And I keep it real. Like, look, that's the guy that you guys all want. That guy's getting all options. He's getting, every woman wants to be with him. So like, if everyone wants to be with him, what are you doing differently to make you stand out? Because he's gonna select whenever we all have all options. It's just the basic rule of life. If you have options, you always pick the what?
The best one.
The best option. Same thing with you guys. If you have 5 guys that are talking to you, ladies, you look at all 5 guys and you pick the best option out of the 5 guys. Same thing with men, especially alpha men. So yeah.
No, I agree with you, because it's totally true. But I think, like, I don't want to say that I gave up on looking. But I think the truth of the matter is, like, I kind of did give up on looking. So I decided to, like, just be, like, I don't know, fat and happy. Like,
but maybe you just need to focus on yourself without looking.
No, yeah.
It's funny, but things comes together. It's when you, and I've seen a friend of mine, she was just looking, but she was focusing all her attention. Like, there are some type of women who cannot be by themselves. They have to have somebody, and they just throw themselves in the first relationship. But it's like, but you have so many other things. You're beautiful, you're young, you have 1 or 2 kids? One kid. Like, focus on your daughter, love yourself. If you want to get fit, go for it, or just accept yourself like you are, because we're all beautiful our own way. And it's funny, because then you'll be surprised, but it does really start attracting people. Like, when you start kind of, it's like, like sometimes when couples trying to get pregnant so badly, they're looking for the baby, and then once they stop, and it just happens. It's kind of like, it's a weird energy, but I've noticed that.
Yeah, I think, just to clarify, I didn't give up on myself. I just let my weight go, because, after so many years of being, like, fit, you just get hungry. I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes you just gotta be fat for a little while. And I think this is my little while. Like, my kid she's about to turn 13. And I'm like, you have to think of your kid when you're dating as a single parent. Cause, like, she's about to turn 13. This is when a girl, especially a girl, needs her mom, right?
Yeah.
Cause, like, those teenage years are not easy. So if you start dating someone, like, while you're trying to take care of that as a single parent, it's hard. because like not only is am I a single parent, her dad is gone. Like I can't just send her to her dad's, like so it makes dating that much harder. So if it comes in the next 5 years, cool, I'll definitely vet that. But like I don't expect it, and it's okay because I'm okay with being by myself. Like, I can keep as many dude friends as I want. We can go fish all day, dive, whatever. But like at the end of the day, I come home to my kid. So like, but I'm like, it's okay for right now, but like you want someone to share that with. But if it doesn't happen in the next few years, it's not that big of a deal. But I mean, hey, like I said, sometimes you just gotta be fat for a little while. So whatever.
All right.
When I
There's
say
a right time for everything.
yeah, when I say that, I mean like there's so much more behind it. You know what y'all know what I mean.
Yeah. Just Just I always believe that to attract the right person just starts with you. If you work on yourself, focus on yourself, and then everything else will fall into place. Will come. And there's a law of attraction.
I have
at
like
the same time, you also like yourself.
Huh?
Wait, what was that?
But at the same time, it's like you have to be yourself too. It's like I know there's a balance because you don't want to change for anyone.
No.
You can adapt, but then you want them to accept the way how you are, right?
No, just be
like if you don't accept the fat me, then like you definitely don't deserve the fit me. Because I have a crazy amount of unwavering confidence. And I think it's because my mom was like unrealistic with us, and she thinks that we're like God's gift to this world. Yeah. So like it's not that. It's just like I'm cool. I'll like you get fit when you get fit, or you stay fat, whatever. Just is what it is. But like realistically, like if I want to attract what I want, like I know what I have to do. Like it's not that I don't know. Just right now, I'm okay. But when I feel like looking for it, then y'all will know. Just check my IG.
But then when the guy really wants the woman, he's not really easy to scare him. Like I'll have an example. Our first date with my husband, I cancel our first date just the last moment because we talked with him over the phone and he seems nice, but I already knew if I'm gonna go on the first date with me, he probably would want to go again, and I probably would not want to go again. I don't know why I have that in my mind, and it's not like I'm being very cocky, but I was just like, yeah, you probably want to have serious, tried to hold the hand and kiss, and I'm not ready for this kind of stuff. I was focusing on my school that time. It's like, it's just the wrong time. I need to get myself in place first.
Oh, yeah.
And, but then I kind of felt sorry for him. So we decided to meet at Starbucks. So when he came, I was like, this way, I don't know his financial situation. I want him to spend money and then be that one, like, what if it's a lot for him? So let's just meet at Starbucks, make nice and civil. And then I don't feel like obligated, if that makes sense. So first thing, poor guy, when he just sat down, I told him, I said, just so you know that triplets run in my family, before we even start talking. So you would think any normal guy would probably just like, she's crazy, would get up and leave. And he was like, okay. And he's like, well, if you're going to give me 3 girls just like you, I said, I'll be the happiest man. I was like, my jaw just dropped. I was like, okay, well, I say, take that now. I say, my mom lives with me because I brought my mom from Russia. I was like, my mom lives with me. How about that? Yeah. He's like, honey, with all those triplets, we would definitely need help. So I'll be blessed if your mom would be with us. Like, what the hell is wrong with him?
I love it.
And it was kind of like a joke, but it was flat out. And we would tell our friends, it's like, oh my God, if the girl would tell me, I would just get up and leave. I said, exactly. And now we married, and he sometimes called me crazy. It's like, dude, you married the crazy one. I'm like, what it tells about you? You should run from the first date. I was upfront with you. So that's why I was surprised, because and I see sometimes go, oh, don't tell him that. I want to scare him away. It's like, if he really likes you, you're not going to scare him away.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's like, this time I'm late because I always late because I don't want him to think. It's like, if he likes you, he'll be okay with that. Yeah, he'll get over it.
All right. So, ladies, we got the last 10 minutes, so I'll let you guys ask one more question each, and yeah. So last question, last time. So bring out the big guns. Bring out the big. The big gun questions. Let me know.
Okay.
So I'll start with you, Saida. So yeah, last question for you. And yeah, what's the last question?
Let's see. I mean, I have like a long list of questions.
Say the most controversial one.
Okay. How about? Man, we already discussed everything I wrote. Really?
Okay, we'll come.
Okay, well,
go ahead.
What if we'll start with her? How about that?
Yeah, we'll come back to you. All right, go to it.
Okay. So have you got, I mean, I don't think, well, I can't remember. You've never done online dating, right?
No.
Have you?
I did.
You did? So, okay. Like my question is, how do you stay safe online dating? And like, what's an appropriate first date for online dating?
Well, I would say just a public place. First, you have to talk to him over the phone because there's some weirdos out there. Trust me. Like, if they don't want to talk to you with the phone, what is going on with you? Do you have a lisp or you have some speech disability? I want to talk to you in the phone and see if we'll get the conversation clicking.
Real.
And then, because a lot of time you can text, but if you're not really communicating, then you see it's like, it's a nice weather. Yeah. Yesterday was cold. Yeah. Tomorrow they say it's gonna be hard. Yeah. This kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So just talk over the phone and just go somewhere like coffee shop, because if you don't like him, you can leave pretty quick. You don't have to sit and wait until he finishes the dinner.
Yeah. How long have you ever dated someone that you met online longer than like a month?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like
My
how
husband.
long? Oh, your husband? Oh, you guys met online?
Which app? Which app you guys met?
Match.com.
Oh, Match.com. Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, I think their slogan
conversation.
really is like you meet your life partner or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a picture on the profile. I was just creating my profile. He already messaged me. Sometimes it's just he's like, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from heaven." He's like, "Well, I pray angel." For angel is like, God hears your prayers. It was kind of really funny.
Wait, just out of curiosity, what race is your husband?
He's Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern? Right on. Have you dated like other ethnicity? Both of you. Have you dated outside of your ethnicity other than your marriage? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
Yeah, I've dated.
Do you have an ethnic preference?
No, I don't. I just whoever I'm attracted to, I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah. I haven't really dated a Pacific Islander long term. Never.
Really?
I'm just worried about the family tree. I don't want to deal with it. To find out it's my cousin. So I just avoided it.
I know that all too well. Like I married a white dude. Like all of my, up until just recently, I mean, like everyone's been white, because like that's safe with with the family tree.
I don't know if that's the same with Russians, but like is Russians all related? Saida, if you date a Russian, like is it a common thing that if you date a Russian that you might be related to him? Because that's how Pacific Islanders are.
Well, not in Russia, but where I came from, because we're in the mountain area where with all the wild people in the mountains. So yeah, we can be related. So it can be our like fourth or third cousin.
Third cousin.
That's kind of normal.
Okay. All right.
So it stays within the family. You can never get divorced because your family gonna bring you back together. There is a people in America who grew up and they decide how they should live, and where we came from, they decide for us how we should live.
So Tui, have you done dating apps, Tui?
Yeah, I actually made one when I was in Utah visiting my family, but
Which
I think it was Facebook dating. My sister was on it. My little sister was on it. So I was like, hey, let me see that. So I was like swiping, and then I guess she got mad because I'm not supposed to like swipe right for everyone or something. So I made a Facebook dating app, but it was in Utah. So like I don't know how to change the location. So I was just trying to see like who's on the like what kind of people are on the dating app. It was just really interesting. Like what kind of people
are you what religion do you have? A religion denomination?
We're from Litye. Shout out to all my Mormons in the house. Just kidding. Yeah, we were raised LDS, so we're raised Mormon.
Have you ever tried the religious dating apps?
No, but somebody was telling me something. I think it was Christian Mingle.
Yeah,
Christian Mingle? Yeah, because I don't know. Was it that? Somebody was telling me something about it, and like they said that they go on Christian Mingle because that's where all the freaky girls are.
No, one of the things I've heard about one of the guys I forgot that he's an author. He writes about masculinity and alpha. He's a man. I forgot that guy's name. But they asked him the question what's up with what's the if you're a guy today, modern day dating 2021, what's the best type of girl to marry that you won't have you have the best way to have a good wife? And he said that women who come from very traditional families and women who are very religious, because they're already within that role, right? They understand how the dynamics of a man is in the relationship. They already understand how all that works. You don't have to explain it to the modern woman, I'm a man, you're a woman, like the modern woman, how this works is gonna work. But for very traditional women and women who grew up in a religious family, they already understand that. So it's very natural for them just to come in and be that submissive feminine woman. And the same thing I will always tell women too, like if you wanna, if you are trying to find somebody, try to find very traditional and very religious men, because they're just looking for a wife. They're not worried about the Instagram bodies and models and likes and all that stuff today that people are so focused on today. They're not on the internet, like if you find very traditional men and if you find very religious men, those men, they just want a wife. And if you get if you just come in and meet these guys and they see that you're a wife, they'll I think that's like the best opportunity around, especially with today with like the casual dating sex. Nobody's looking for commitment no more. Yeah. So for me, that's why I'm very attracted to girls who come from certain ethnicities that I know that it's very traditional, like Middle Eastern is very traditional families. I know Pacific Islander, very traditional families. Hispanic, very traditional families. So I just wanted to throw it out there for you guys. If you're trying to find a dating app, try it. Find just religious.
No, I like it's fun to swipe, but I don't think I could bring myself to actually go. Like I'm just like, yeah, this is cool, but then I don't answer any messages. I just look and I'm like, their profile seems legit. They'd be cool, and then just keep swiping.
Just try it.
It was fun while it lasted, but then it's just like that was in Utah when it was too hot to do anything.
It's just the fear of meeting somebody random. Is that it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe take a little break and then go back. Because sometimes, when it kind of gets old and, then they just swipe. Because it's like a second job could be pretty much. So maybe you should kind of just sign out and take a month off and then sign in again.
I just haven't gone on there since I left Utah. So I don't know. I don't know what the initial, I think there's some kind of initial fear there, but I don't know if it's just, I feel like I'm busy or, you know what? I think I know what it is. I think I'm too good for it. I think that's what it is, because I have a feeling that, because I know myself and sometimes I can be
I don't need no help.
Yeah, that's it. I'm I don't need help meeting people. Are you kidding me? You met me? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm it might be cool, but yeah, I haven't thought about it until now.
You try it. I'm telling you, just try it. You won't know if you try.
I know, right? Yeah, give me some time.
Saida worked up a side.
I know it did. Girl,
well, actually, I wasn't really meant to date. I just need the patience from my hygiene school because I was new in Texas, so I knew nobody. was like, let me just get some guys, and once I do the cleaning, that's it. I don't have to deal with them. But
that's so funny.
But yeah,
but
he ended up being my final abort patient too. So I did find a patient.
and a husband.
And a husband. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on. I'll put it on my maybe shelf. I don't know.
All right, it's all good. All right. So ladies, we've come to the conclusion of the podcast. Just want to say, we had some good topics today. We had some great discussions. If you guys are still watching this, drop some comments below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think about everything that we talked about. And yeah. So, but ladies, to conclude the podcast, I want to ask you guys. I always ask every single guest, what did you guys think about the podcast, and what did you guys take away from this podcast? So I just want to hear your thoughts on that. So I'll start with you, Saida. What was your thought about the podcast itself, and what did you take away from it?
It just you learn a lot of important things, because sometimes we have our own way how we think, but it's very helpful to hear the other side too. Mm-hmm. Like your opinion, her opinion is just, it makes you think a little more open-minded. Oh, okay, well, I never thought that they think that way, or I never thought you also can do that. So it kind of teaches you. You can get a lot of good lessons for your life and for your relationship to improve it for better, because it's a constant work. It's a full-time job. Relationship is a full-time job.
Yes.
You always have to work in it. Love doesn't last. You have to work in it.
Exactly.
I wish that was a disclaimer on all relationships. It's work.
Everybody wants the fairy tale relationship, Prince Charming.
Yeah, it can grow into something better and deeper after a while, but it doesn't last. You have to work on it.
Work on it. All right. And Tui, same thing. What did you take away from the podcast, and what you thought about it?
I think it was cool. This is a cool little way to cultivate like healthy conversation about relationships and kind of like concerns, and not just your romantic relationships, but in like all of your interpersonal relationships. So this was cool. Yeah.
And then one of the best things I think by doing this podcast is it's just so men and women can see that we're different, and also hear like what we want. That's the biggest confusion today. Is like a lot of the men have no idea what the women want, and the women have no idea what the men want, and everybody's afraid to say the truth.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. No, really quick. On that note, whoever's listening, I hope if you take anything from this podcast or anything like this podcast, it's important to create a healthy, open-minded conversation with your significant other or your specific significant other. Mm-hmm. And so you know what you both want, so there's no surprises. And kind of explain your individuality to each other, because it's important to keep it. And if you see red flags, and not just like they might not be bad, but if you see red flags for yourself, like if it's going to compromise what you want in your relationship, because you think that this person is what you could want, don't do it, because you fuck it up for the rest of us who actually do deserve good people. Thanks.
I love that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
So thank you guys for watching, if you made it this far. And I'll definitely make sure I drop their social media handles below so you can follow them. A lot of these ladies, they do great things with their pages. And please support them. If you support me, please support them as well on their channels and on their pages as well. And we'll see you guys next Saturday.